Good morning. My name is Graff. I'm the Child and Youth Advocate for the province of Alberta. I'd like to start by acknowledging the territory that we're on, being Treaty 6 territory. It's important to do that because it's a sign of respect for those people that came before us. I'd also like to acknowledge the prayer and the kind words and the wise words that Dr. Eva Cardinal shared with us. I think when we consider the fact that almost 70% of the children who are in the care of government are Aboriginal children, it means that we need a greater presence of Aboriginal people in rooms like this. In April 2012, the Child and Youth Advocate Act was proclaimed, making me an office of the legislature. What that means is that my role is now independent of government. This legislation enables my office to review systemic issues arising from the serious injury or death of a child receiving child intervention services or a young person who's in custody in the youth criminal justice system. Previous to this, we did not have any role or responsibility for review of serious death or injury of children. We now look into the circumstances of all children who are seriously injured or died while receiving child intervention service. We follow a process of information gathering to help us make decisions about how best to learn from these tragic circumstances. We use a three-phase process that includes reporting and looking at the reports that we receive, initial assessments where we review all of the file information that exists, and then the final phase is an investigative review where we have terms of reference, an investigative plan, and we interview people and gather records from other sources. Our goal in this work is to improve the services and outcomes for children by identifying systemic issues and making recommendations to government for change. The serious injury or death of a child is heart-wrenching, and I appreciate the anger and frustration that comes from having many questions and few answers. I attended a Candlelight Vigil a couple of weeks ago for children in care who passed away, and I watched people, young and old, parents, children, grandparents, comforting and supporting each other. I've also sat across the table from a grandmother who shared with me her sorrow about her grandson who died by suicide. To hear about the number of children who passed away, reported in the Fatal Care series, was overwhelming, even for those of us who are familiar with these tragedies. My hope is that this roundtable serves to provide greater clarity about children's experience with the child intervention system. And when something goes wrong, we do the right things about it. We need to ask fundamental questions when there are tragic circumstances so we can learn as much as we can about what happened. And we all need to take courageous action in response to what we learn. At the end of the day, this roundtable is about how we treat our most vulnerable citizens. And we must not be satisfied until we have done everything that we can to ensure all our children are safe and well. Thank you.